All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a topic assessment this Wednesday, and I want to review with you. We went over most classes was able to get through numbers 1 through 6, but I want to make sure that we are able to go through the rest of the questions with you, so that we can make sure that you are ready for the assessment on Wednesday. All right, let's take a look at number 1. I've also posted this actual assessment. It is a pre-assessment, but we're using it as a review as well. But I posted a copy of this on your Carnegie and probably Canvas as well, so that you can make a copy for yourself, practice doing it on your own at home, and then you can watch this video after you're done, just to make sure that you're understanding what you need to understand. Parents as well, hopefully this helps you to help your child. You have tonight to study, and then you'll have tomorrow as well. So hopefully this brings everything together for you. Number 1, calculate the area of the parallelogram. So for those of you, especially if you weren't here today, this is also going to be very beneficial for you. The biggest thing is for you to remember the formulas for area for parallelogram, the triangle, and the trapezoid. So for the parallelogram, the area formula is area equals base times height. So parents, I want you to encourage your child to use something other than the X for multiplication, because they're going to see more and more of the dot. They're also going to see the parentheses for multiplication. So just trying to encourage them to use the other options as well to help them to understand. All right, area equals base times height. Therefore, area equals, the base is normally the bottom, 7 times 6. Area equals 42 inches squared. Please remind them as well, if they do not tell me it's inches, feet, yards, centimeters, and tell me it's squared, it's going to be incorrect. Okay? Number 2, calculate the area of a triangle. The formula, area equals base times height divided by 2. Therefore, area equals 8 times 5 divided by 2. Therefore, area equals 40 divided by 2. Area equals 20 centimeters squared. Please encourage your child, when they're showing their work on their test on Wednesday, to show each step. A lot of them, they just want to skip to the end, and we have to make sure that we know that they understand what they're doing. Number 3, calculate the area of a trapezoid. I'm seeing a lot of people, of our babies, still saying area equals base 1 times base 2. It is not base 1 times base 2. It's base 1 plus base 2 times height divided by 2. Area equals the base 1 and base 2. They should remember we use the trapezoids, and we put them together so that they could see the rectangle, and it helped them to see why this is a base 1 and a base 2. So base 1 is 9, base 2 is at the top for a trapezoid, which is 12, multiply it times the height, which is 5, divided by 2. Area equals 9 plus 12 times 5, which is 105 divided by 2. Area equals, this would be 52 and 2 and 5/10, or 52 and 1/2 millimeters squared. I'm also trying to get them to see that 1/2 is simply 0.5 or 5/10. I want them to use the tenths instead of point. Yes, this is a point, but what is this called? This is 5/10. So 52.5 millimeters squared, or 52 and, remember decimal is and, 5/10 millimeter squared. Number 4, calculate the area of the composite figure. In class, we went through a lesson where they had to decompose or break apart the shape into familiar shapes. When I look at this shape, I automatically, first thing I see is the rectangle part. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my little dotted lines there to show that, oh, this is a rectangle here, okay? So we have a rectangle, and we know that the area of a rectangle is area equals base times height, which means if this is 5, that means if this is a rectangle, this part is 5 feet. This 9 is important, but I need you to understand that that 9 represents the entire length of the shape on the bottom. So here, if we are finding the area for the rectangle, this part is 5. This is my base. Area equals 5 times how high times 4. Area equals 20 feet squared. Are we done? No, it did not ask you for the area of the rectangle. It needs the entire composite figure. So now I need to look at this figure, and I know that this is a trapezoid. But wait, I only have 3 feet here. I know that I need a base 1, a base 2, and a height. So in order to find that, first let's start with the bottom, because we just showed that this is 5 feet. If this is 5 feet, this is 5 feet, because on a rectangle, the lengths of the top and the bottom are the same. The lengths of the left and the right are the same. So if this is 5, this is 5. If this is 4, that means this whole side is 4. But I see that this part is 2. This is not the whole side of the rectangle. It's only a part of it. So if this is 2 and I know the entire side is 4, that means this is 2 feet as well. Okay? So now I also see if this is 5 feet, if the entire thing is 9, and this part from here to here is 5 feet, that means that this part is how much? 9 minus 5 is 4 feet. I had someone point that out, that you could just subtract it today, and I was looking like, what? But I get what she's saying now. So this is 4 feet, okay? Now we can find the area of the trapezoid. Area of the trapezoid equals base 1 plus base 2 times height divided by 2. Area equals what? The base is 4. The base is 3, so base 1, 4, base 2, 3. So 4 plus 3, the height. How tall is this? From here to here is how tall it is 2. And then divided by 2. Area equals 7 times 2 divided by 2. Area equals 14 divided by 2. Area equals 7 feet squared. Am I done? No. That's only the trapezoid. We have a whole composite figure, so that means I need to take the composite figure that I recognize here, which is 20 feet, and the composite figure that I recognize here, which is the trapezoid, which is 7 feet, and add it together. So 7 feet squared plus 20 feet squared equals, let me move that over. 7 feet squared plus 20 feet squared equals 27 feet squared. Okay? All right, moving on. Let's look at the bottom. So when we looked at this today, we gave you a little scenario. Determine the area of the shaded region of the rectangle. So we're looking at the shaded part, but there's something missing here. And so the little story we talked about, if you baked a pan of brownies, you leave that pan of brownies on the stove, mom and dad, and you tell your child, let's see, Daphne. We tell Daphne, do not touch these brownies. And you come back, Daphne decided to cut out an entire rectangle out the middle of those brownies. So now you have to calculate how much of the brownie do we have, because this is taken away. That means we've got to subtract the area of the triangle to find the area of our shaded region. So the first thing for a rectangle, area equals base times height. Area equals, if this is 11, that means this is 11, equals 11 times 8. Area equals 88 yards squared. Okay, we have the entire rectangle, but what about the triangle? Area of the triangle, area equals base times height divided by 2. Area equals, base is 11, no, I'm sorry, thinking about this one. Base here is 3 times the height, so from the bottom to the top is 8 divided by 2. Area equals 24 divided by 2. Area equals 12 yards squared. That's the part that's missing. So if this is the part that Daphne cut out, that means I've got to take it out of the full rectangle. 88 minus 12 equals 76 yards squared. Area equals 76 yards squared. Okay? All right, let's moving on to number 6. Number 6, determine the volume of the rectangular prism. Volume, what's the formula? Equals length times width times height. Volume equals, what's the length? How long is it? 3/4 inch. How wide is it? 3/8 inch. How high is it? 1/2 inch. Remember, with multiplication of fractions, you simply multiply your numerator times your numerators and your denominators times your denominators. So therefore, 3 times 3 times 1 is 9. 4 times 8 is 32. 32 times 2 is 64. So 9/64 inches cubed, because this is 3-dimensional. The dimensions are length, width, and height. Okay? Take a look at number 7. Mara has fractional unit cubes that have a length of 1/3 centimeters. She uses the cubes to build a rectangular prism. The base of the prism has a total of 12 cubes, and the prism is 5 cubes in height. What is the volume of the rectangular prism Mara builds? Okay? All right, so when the week before I was absent, we were able to use our unit cubes to fit inside of our boxes. This is our unit cube. Okay? A unit cube is a cube, right? So it's a cube, that means it's 3-dimensional. 3-dimensional, just like the shapes that you see in the pictures that we've been looking at when we were finding the volume. It is 3D, 3-dimensional. So what this is saying is that this cube, one side of this cube, one of the dimensions rather, is 1/3 centimeters. So the length is 1/3 centimeters, the width is 1/3 centimeters, and then the height is 1/3 centimeters because it's a cube. If that's the case, then I need to find the volume of the one cube before I move to anything else. So when you see that you are finding the volume of a rectangular prism, but it tells you that the cube is a fraction, you first got to find the volume of that one cube. Before you move any further, find the volume of this one cube. So if I draw out my cube, it's 1/3 length, 1/3 width, 1/3 height. And we know volume equals length times width times height. Volume equals 1/3 times 1/3 times 1/3. Therefore, volume equals 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 3 is 27, equals 1/27 centimeter cubed. Okay, let me make that clearer to make sure that you can see that. Okay, 1/27. All right, now we have the volume of the 1 cube. We've now got to find the volume of the entire rectangular prism that Mara builds. How do I do that? Well, the best way to do that is first by remembering volume equals length times width times height. But we also know that length times width equals what? It's the base. So base times height, which they gave us. They only gave us the base. They didn't give us length times width. They gave us the base. It says the base of the prism has a total of 12 cubes. So my base is 12. It says, and the prism is 5 cubes in height. So times 5. So volume equals 60 cubic units. Okay, so we got our 60 cubic units. So now, what do I do with this? Well, in order for us to find the volume of the entire rectangular prism, you must multiply the volume of what we have, 12 times 5, times the volume of the 1 cube. So 60 times 1/27. Okay? Changing it so we start using that. All right, now, if that's the case, 60 would be over 1, because we know that a whole number as a fraction is always over 1. Now we can say volume equals 60 times 1. Remember, multiplying is numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. Our answer is 60/27. Okay? But wait, let's see if we can simplify this. 60 and 27. 27, 3 times 9. So that means 3. I can use 3. So 60 divided by 3. Remember, whatever I do to the numerator, I have to use the same thing for the denominator. So 60 times 3 and 27 divided by 3. I said times, I meant divided. Volume equals 20 divided by 9. This is centimeters cubed. Okay? And we came back to that because it says it's the volume of each is in centimeters. So now we're back to centimeters. Whereas this just said we used the cubes because we didn't know what the volume was, and that's why we just said cubic units. So my answer is volume equals 20/9 centimeters cubed. And on the assessment, this is how your answer is. I don't believe that it asks you to change it to a mixed number, okay? All right, number 8, determine the number of 1/4 inch cubes that can pack a rectangular prism with a length of 2 inches, a width of 1.5 inches, and a height of 3/4 inch. So here, it's different because you're determining the number of 1/4 inch cubes. So how many cubes? So it's very different. You can't do this like you did this. This is find the volume. This is how many cubes can fit inside if they're 1/4 inch. Okay? So how do you do this? Well, this is where your division comes back in. Remember, keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip. Don't forget that. So we're back there. Now what we have to do, we have to look at the length, the width, and the height and divide it by the fractional inch of the cube. So now we have, this is the length. The length is 2 divided by 1/4 inch. I know that's 2/1, so I can keep, change, and flip, which equals 8. Okay? Length, width. Width is 1 1/2. So we've got to change that 1 1/2 to a big-headed fraction. How do we do that? Or an improper fraction. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. So 3/2 divided by, again, the size of the cube, 1/4 inch. Keep, change, flip, which equals 12/2, which equals 6. All right, and now the length. Do the same thing for the length. I'm sorry, the height. The height is 3/4 inches divided by 1/4 inch. Keep, change, flip equals 12/4, which equals 3. Are we done? No, because all we did was decide on the length, the width, and the height divided by 1/4 inch cube. Okay? So for us to find out how many there are, we actually have to multiply, go back to volume equals length times width times height. 8 times 6 times 3. 8 times 6 times 3 equals 48 times 3, which equals 144 cubes. Not cubic units, but cubes. Because remember the question, determine the number of 1/4 inch cubes. There are 144 1/4 inch cubes. So 144 of these to fill that prism. Okay, so yes, you gotta do all parts. Divide, 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 then multiply, multiply, multiply. Okay, all right, now we are ready for number 9. Number 9, this is one of the questions as I was out. I didn't get to really talk to you about, but we're gonna have that chance now. When you see, use the net to name the figure, the first thing you need to do is look in the center of your shape. What shape is that? That is a rectangle, so I know it's a rectangular something. I see it comes to a point. If it's coming to a point, that means it's a pyramid. If it comes to a point, it's a mid. If it comes to a point, it's a mid. If it comes to a point, if it comes to a point, if it comes to a point. Oh, I was supposed to do that. It's a mid or a pyramid. Okay? All right, number 10. Calculate the surface area of the rectangular prism formed by the net. For this one, you must make sure that you can identify the length of every side of each of the shapes you see. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rectangles here. So I'm going to have 6 numbers that I'm going to have to add in the end to calculate the surface area. So when I look at this, go back to what we've been talking about. If one side is 7 centimeters on a rectangle, then the other side is automatically 7 centimeters. Okay? If this side is 8 centimeters, that means all the way up from here to here is 8 centimeters. 8 centimeters. 8 centimeters. 8 centimeters. If this is 5 centimeters, that means this is 5 centimeters. 5 centimeters. 5 centimeters. The only thing we don't have is these two sides. Okay, we don't have anything there, but I know if I'm building a box, let's say I'm folding these two ends upward. If I fold these two ends upward, they're going to be the same size, because think about a box. When I fold it, it's going to be the same. This side, when I fold it in, it's going to be the same height. So I know that if this is 7, when they come together, they're going to be touching each other. So if this is 7, that means this is 7 centimeters and this is 7 centimeters. Same thing over here. If this is 7 centimeters, then the one next to it is 7 centimeters. Then this is 7 centimeters. Okay, now we find the area. Well, no, stop. One more thing. We got to make sure. This side as well. If I'm folding the box up here and I'm folding this part up, they have to be the same. So that means this is 7 centimeters, this is 7 centimeters, and this down here, it's the top of the box. So this side folds up, this side folds up, this side folds up, this side folds up. Then we have the top of the box. The top of the box is going to be the same size as the bottom of the box. So when you're looking at this, the side that has more pieces is going to be the top of the box. So this little piece is going to be the top. So I know that it has to be the same size as the bottom of the box. So that means that this is 5 centimeters and this is 5 centimeters. Now I can calculate each of my area. Area equals base times height. So I'm going to do that for every one of them. You don't have to write it out because it is a lot. So I will just do it in the middle and just say 7 times 8, 56 centimeters squared. And I'm going to highlight it so that we know what our answer is here. There's our answer there. Same thing here, because if this folds up to the same size as this, that means this is 56 centimeters squared too. Okay, this is 8 times 5, which is 40 centimeters squared. So if the bottom of my box is 40 centimeters squared, that means the top of my box is 40 centimeters squared. Okay, this is 7 times 5. This is the right side of my box. That means it's 35 centimeters squared. So if the right side is 35 centimeters squared, that means the left side is 35 centimeters squared. Now I have all of my pieces. Now I've got to add them all together to find my surface area. So I have, and I check them off because I don't want to skip any and I don't want to use a number too many times. Don't be too lazy about your learning. So check them off to ensure that you've used what you need to use. So I'm going to start 56 and 56, check, check. So 56 times 2, or 56 plus 56, is 102. Okay? Now my left and my right, 35 times 2. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry a 1 is 70. Check, check. Now the top and the bottom of my box is 40 times 2, which is 80. Check, check. Have I used all my pieces? All my pieces are checked off. Now I need to add them together. So this is easy. 102 plus 70 equals 172. All right, now I can use 172 plus 80. 2. I know that 7 plus 7 is 14, plus 1 more is 15. Carry my 1 is 252 centimeters squared. It's squared because this is not the volume. This is the area of the surface. So how much space is on the surface? So it's just squared. Okay? All right, that's it. That's it. Tomorrow we'll come back. We will review again. I'll try to have some questions like these so that you can have a chance to work with them together with your friends. And then on Wednesday is our assessment. I hope this helped. Have a great afternoon.